Hey friends, it's Renee. I'm going to be doing a client's large spirit guide reading today. So, I've already got the cards all shuffled here. I have the guidebooks for 2 oracle decks, the Witch's Oracle and the Goddess Oracle. And then I'm also working with the Everyday Witches Tarot and the Book of Shadows, so below tarot. So these are the ones that drew my attention this morning when I was going through my decks for you. I work with these two a lot, so that's probably a little bit of why they came up. But the first set we're going to look at here is kind of like a representative for your guide, maybe like a little bit of a generalized message before we get into everything else, but mostly we'll see why this specific guide is in your life. So Diana, focused intention. So I'm going to actually read from the guidebook for the oracles. Okay. So this is interesting. So I think the second or third time I've ever pulled this card, so this is pretty cool. Focused intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feeling, and actions focused on your target and you will make your mark. Message from Diana. Tenacity means sticking to a decision and not allowing outside forces to sway you. Imagine yourself like the mighty oak tree with your roots deeply planted into the Mother Earth. Feel your solid strength and steady upward growth. Know that no matter what happens, you will succeed. Your branches may twist and turn as you flex towards the light, yet your unwavering intentions will ensure that no faint wind will sway you from your mission. Be in charge of your body, your schedule, your mind, and keep them focused upon your target. So staying positive, knowing your priorities are, taking control of your schedule, release doubts, and avoid naysayers, which is one of my favorite words when I'm doing readings. Ignore those naysayers and skeptics. This Roman moon goddess carries a silver bow, an arrow given to her in childhood by her father Jupiter because her mother bore Diana and her twin brother painlessly. Diana is associated with healthy childbirth. Diana loves to spend time out in nature and is particularly fond of oak trees and watching over wild animals. I was feeling a bit of animal energy going into this reading for you, and actually when I was shuffling the Witch's Oracle, 2 cards appeared and they were both animal cards, so I thought that was kind of interesting because there's not a whole lot of animals in the Witch's Oracle. You can call upon her to help you with animals, painless childbirth, and connecting with nature and the elements. So then also the other card that comes up here, which I thought was really kind of cool. I don't usually have all these decks sitting up here. Let me move them out of the way a little bit. There we go. Alright, so then we have the High Priestess. So I feel like there's this guide is coming to you today because there's been a spiritual journey that you've been either embarking on or wanting to embark on. I see little tidbits of information kind of coming to you here and there, and sometimes feeling a little lost as to what your next step will be. But overall, I feel that you've had some kind of big like awakening moments this year well, I guess we're only in February, aren't we? And I'm feeling like it's longer than that. So maybe since like the fall or something, you've had some pretty big awakening moments. Maybe like, I don't want to say near death experience. That's not right. But something, kind of equivalent to that. Maybe not quite as dramatic as near death. Maybe watching someone else, losing someone else, or watching a friend go through a heartbreak, or, after a loss, an earthly loss of a family member or friend, perhaps just something ripped away. But there's definitely some kind of change, I feel like, happened to you sometime earlier this year, or like I said, in the fall. getting that. Let me see if I can set these up so my hand's not covering them too much. There we go. That's better, I think. So I feel like this kind of experience kind of made you step up maybe a little bit of your spiritual game. You felt a calling to start looking at something else a little bit deeper. Felt a pull to a higher meaning in life. So I feel like that's why your guide has come to you. So when I was doing open meditation and I looked at your image, which I'm going to pull up, not on here, but so I was feeling a lot of green energy, a lot of heart chakra energy. I feel like it's really overactive. It's really sensitive. You're sensitive to other people's words and their intentions. I feel probably I'm losing my word here. Intuitive, but empath. I feel empathic coming from you, and I feel like a lot of that comes in to your heart kind of chakra, and I feel like that's something that really like woke up during sometime since this past fall, when you started getting this drawing closer and pointing more towards your journey, towards your spiritual path that was kind of awakening, kind of unfolding in front of you. So I feel like you've had some moments, you've had some, like thinking about a song and then it comes on the radio, or saying a number and then that appears, on the clock, or, on a license plate, things like that. So there's been like moments like that happening for you lately. And I feel like kind of just a little bit of a loss as to where these are pointing for you. But these are definitely, I feel, a strong presence with your spirit guide. She's a strong spiritual connection for you. I feel like she's been with you over lifetimes. This is definitely not a newer connection for you. Some spirit guides may be with us just for a life, and some may be with us for many. I feel like she's been with you for a long time. So this is definitely your spiritual journey guide of sorts, and I feel she's trying to point you in a direction here, trying to open your eyes to something that you want to see, that you want to do with your life, and we'll see hopefully a little bit more of that as we go along. But yeah, so we have Diana and she's a goddess if you want to look her up and look a little bit more into her, and then the High Priestess, which is really interesting to get right here. So yeah, that green energy I was picking up with you. I was feeling a little bit of like earthy energy, that love, that heart chakra, but I do feel the heart can kind of get away from you sometimes. It can kind of pull you strongly, and it's just kind of important to keep reminding yourself to root yourself, and I feel like work on a little bit of the third eye too, third eye chakra, after you've worked on rooting yourself, or establish rooting or grounding, working on that third eye. I feel like that'll help you kind of discern a little bit better when you're seeing with your heart. I feel like a lot of heart energy for you. So how she's currently helping you in your life. Oh gosh. Okay, 3 of Swords. So this is that, got tingles. I'm sorry. This is kind of like that, that moment we were looking at in the beginning, that big change, that life change that you went through, and kind of leading with the heart. You've got all these swords poking into this heart box of chocolates, or heart pillow or something, but like a lot of pain. And I feel that is because you lead with your heart, you feel with your heart. There may be someone that's not in your life anymore, either a friend you had a falling out with, or a colleague, coworker who doesn't work with you anymore, but someone who you really notice is gone, I'd say on like a daily basis. And she's really kind of trying to help you Um, she's trying to help you kind of work through this process by helping you have your spiritual awakening, having you start to feel and sense and see more, that there's more than just what we can see, that there's a whole other kind of world out there. And then the next card I want to do is the how you can help yourself as she's helping you. Ooh, oh my gosh. So the 10 of Wands, she is wanting to take some of this pain and stress and heartache from you. She's wanting you to kind of divvy it up, ask for help, speak to friends, family, go see, someone professionally if you need to, but she definitely wants you to not keep things kind of cramped up inside, but to let it out and to ask for help. Don't expect that you have to do everything on your own. Don't feel like you're alone in all of this. And I feel like you do have other people with you. I don't feel, when I look at your, that was the other thing. As soon as I looked at your image, and I'm seeing it again, and now that we're moving into this, I see this, the Mona Lisa, the pretending, the smile, the pretending like everything's okay, you've got this, you can do everything on your own. I feel like there are other important people in your life, and there's people that offer to help you, but a lot of times you feel like you need to do this on your own. You need to accomplish things on your own and work through issues and changes on your own, but you don't. And your guide is very strongly reminding you that oh wow. Oh, sorry. I just got new glasses and I just took them off for a second and I did not notice this, but right here, sorry, I kind of think maybe this might be a message for you since I'm noticing it at this exact second. I don't know if I can center in. I probably can't. It says, find the magic in everything. Wow. I did not notice that when I bought these glasses. So that's a message for you, I feel like. Maybe a little bit for me because they are on my glasses, but the fact that I pulled them off at this moment just to kind of readjust them and just now notice that when I've had them for about a week, that's pretty interesting. So definitely watch for, we'll keep that in mind as we go along here, watching for magic in your life. But I do feel that sorry. I feel that definitely you need to start leaning on more people. You need to stop pretending like you can do everything. I mean, you can. I feel like you're able to do everything, but emotionally and spiritually, when it comes down to your soul and your higher purpose and your happiness, you shouldn't have to do everything on your own. So if you're still upset about something that happened 6 or 7 months ago, and other people are thinking your timeline should have moved up, you shouldn't be upset anymore, those are the naysayers to ignore. They're not the ones who you can talk to about this. Or maybe if it's people close, I don't know if you're married or in a relationship or anything like that, but or have a really good like best friend you can talk to, or close relationship with a family member. But find that person, and if there's someone who you want to talk to about this and they're kind of giving you a little bit of a vibe about how you should be kind of over issues that have happened in the past, how you should keep going, just paint a smile on your face. I feel like it's really time to be open and honest and kind of explain how this is affecting you, and explain how putting a smile on your face is not the best way to move through the situation. It's not going to make things better. You have to be honest and open, and with the people around you especially. And then we'll go into working with one of my favorite spreads today for spirit guide readings, but occasionally we'll diverge as we need to give additional messages. But the spread will be pulling mostly from the Everyday Witches Tarot. Oh, how can you tell when she's talking to you? the 10 of Cups. So I feel like, again, we're looking at another 10 here. Another journey completion, another thing that has to do with a lot of different people's energy. And here I feel this connection to, I'm very curious. I knew that was going to happen. I didn't look at these cards beforehand. Okay. The number 10. Watch for the number 10, because here now we have the 10 of Pentacles is going to be the next card from the deck. And then we just had the 10 of Wands. We have the 10 of Cups. What's the shadow? No, okay. So 10 is a number that she's going to be using to communicate with you. When you happen to look at the clock and it's 10:10, you're flipping the dial on the radio. I don't know if people do that anymore, but if you're turning the dial on the radio and it stops at 10:10, that's, pay attention to these moments where 10 is popping up. A street sign, an unexpected address. These places, the 10 is coming. Pay attention to your mind around that time. Pay attention to your thought process. If you were worrying about something a moment before, what were you worrying about? If you were focused on a solution to a problem that you've been having, or you feel like a song or an idea kind of came to you out of nowhere. If you're sitting there and you're suddenly thinking of a book or a movie, when you notice that 10, kind of think about what that movie, that song, that book, what the thing, what you were thinking about means to you. Now, we live in busy lives and we can't always stop and have a deep meditation session in the middle of the day when we see a 10 and we're having this thought process, even if it's just like, oh, I like tomato soup. We can't really sit and think, what does tomato soup mean to me? So I always kind of suggest, especially when we're seeing the numbers like this, a number coming up for a sign, a way of her communicating with you, either get like a little pocket journal that you can keep with you, or download a note app, something you can write in on your phone. Write, just briefly how the number came to you, on a street sign, a stamp on someone's hand, and then also jot down, what you were thinking of doing, going, what was happening at that moment. Even little tiny things, I think you'll start to notice more when you're doing the journaling than if you just sit and try to focus on it immediately. Because say like your friend, like some random person, like Jane, like her name like pops into your mind, right when you're seeing the word, the number 10 somewhere. And you're thinking about this funny thing that you guys had said or done a few weeks ago. Then maybe that 10 is an indication that you need to call Jane. You need to check in with her that day, or she needs something from you, or she's there to listen to you. There's some kind of indication there. There's some kind of further idea that's going on around that number 10. I also just got the word piglet, not the Winnie the Pooh character, though I guess it could be, but I see piglet and then I see like a little baby pig. So maybe like watching for the totem or the animal to appear out of nowhere, the word to come up out of nowhere, I think is another way kind of to notice that she's talking to you. And if there's more, more things that might come up as we're reading along, and she may have shown me the green color when we were doing, when I was looking at your image and kind of meditating and just trying to get some general information. She may have shown me the color green to pass on to you as well. If you're walking and you see a woman head to toe dressed in green, maybe that's a moment too to take note of. An unexpected pops of green. A balloon floating by you while you're standing somewhere or up in the sky and it's green, things like this. So definitely things to watch for. Now, the Ten of Cups itself is like family gatherings and joy, and I'm also getting like because it is like the cups are kind of like that emotion cards. Well, they're not kind of, they are the emotion cards. And then we have all that water flowing through back there in the background. So I'm feeling like a lot of emotion revolved around your family. Like maybe sometimes you argue with family members, or you just have a burst of unconditional love for your family members, something like this. That too is possible. And again, these are things that come more out of nowhere, out of left field, when you're not even thinking about it. And that I feel like is kind of another indication that she's trying to speak to you. So, I feel over time you'll kind of understand her messages better. They're a little bit, I just got the name Helen. So, this may be her name, what she wants you to kind of think of her as, when you're talking to her, thinking about her. I am super freezing. Hold on, I gotta even get my sweatshirt. So the name Helen came to me. So maybe even to watch for that name, watching TV, reading a book, the name to pop out. Helen, Helena, things like this, and there might be moments around this that she's trying to talk to you. So it's not. I don't feel. Over time with this journaling, if you are able to kind of just make notes during your days when things like this pop up, and then kind of just keep them. And the guides were even showing me, you're somewhere and you're waiting to be done. I don't know if it's work or kind of waiting for someone to get home from work, or what it is, but you look at the clock and it's 10:10, 11:10, 12:10. You're looking every hour and it happens to be right on the 10. These are days where your guide is really trying to convey something to you. So if you are journaling and kind of, even if it doesn't really make sense at the time, and you're making notes, and then in the evening, or if you don't have time every day, like once a week, a couple times a month, whatever is going to work in your schedule. But I feel like going over these notes, just comparing, looking at that day's notes, or looking at the past few days, the past month, going over, kind of jotting, and then having a separate page where you can kind of jot down ideas and things that are coming to you, what this could possibly mean. If you'd rather do like a voice recorder or videoing yourself, whatever you want to do, whatever you're comfortable with, and you feel like you're going to be able to get your ideas out the best with them being clear to you. Definitely, I feel like over time, all this is going to make more and more sense to you. Now, your guide just did pop in the word dream to me, which is not uncommon when we're looking at messages from the guides. So I would definitely, I feel like it's good to, when you're going to be looking over this journal and kind of going over things, whatever day of the week, if you do it every day or once a month or whatever, that you try to do it near bedtime or a nap time or something, so that you have time to meditate before bed, and then kind of allow her to come to you in your dreams and give you more messages based around this. But I do feel a lot of that, kind of the journaling and the messages coming that way. So this lifetime's lesson for you. So, and that is the Ten of Pentacles here. And then I'm also feeling compelled to pull up those cards that I did pull from the Witch's Oracle earlier. So I'm going to leave this Ten of Pentacles up, and while I read to you from the Oracle on these particular messages. So what happened was, I was shuffling and I was coming towards the end. This card left up and flipped around, so it was facing opposite of the rest of them in the deck, and then this ended up being the top card in front of it, so they were together like this. So to me, it was definitely these were two cards that wanted to speak to you. So we're gonna see. So familiar was the first one to come out, and we'll read from the guidebook, and then we'll kind of see how their messages kind of work together here. Familiar is an animal companion of a witch, and they share a magical connection. The black cat was a traditional witch's familiar, but some people connect better with other animals. In shamanistic practices, the animal familiar is not a physical being at all, but a thought form or a spiritual entity. It often travels astrally or serves as a magical guardian against those who might try to physically attack the shaman. Today, many pagans have an animal companion that they consider their familiar, and most people no longer believe that these are spirits or demons inhabiting the animal. Instead, they have an emotional and psychic bond with a particular animal who is in tune to the power of the human partner. No matter what kind of creature it might be, the familiar is no mere pet. Rather, the animal is a respected partner and companion who reveals truths and offers the characteristics inherent to the nature of the witch for magical purposes. So the meaning of this card is all about showing who you truly are and revealing truths about yourself that you have locked away for a very long time. Not just to others, but to yourself as well. This is what a little bit of what I was feeling for you earlier is that, sorry, I'm getting all misty-eyed. Might be feeling a little bit of your heart chakra coming through here. So not just to others, but to yourself as well. These have become burdensome, like we saw, burdensome. And you need to stop carrying that heavy weight around. It's time for you to come out from your hiding place and show your true colors. So an incantation, it says in here, and if you don't like that word, it could be a meditation or a mantra. Strip away the invisibility cloak. I must stand tall like the mighty oak. There is nothing more I need to hide, and now I can show myself with pride. So that is for the cat, the familiar card. That is a lot of what I've been picking up for you, is really kind of revealing some of these pains that you keep hidden because you feel like you have to be responsible for taking care of yourself and your emotional state. I feel like it's easier for other people to rely on you than it is for you to rely on other people. And it's not that you don't trust them, you do. You just feel guilty about asking other people to do things for you. So Helen, I'm going to call her Helen, she just told me that you have a hard time standing up for yourself. Very roll with the punches kind of girl, very laid back, which is awesome. It's really good to be that kind of laid back energy, but there are some people in your life that you do need to stand up to that you've been unable to stand up to. So the Chinese dragon now. Dragon is a legendary creature typically depicted as a large and powerful serpent with magical or spiritual qualities. They are highly intelligent. Unlike European dragons, Chinese dragons are considered to be benevolent and symbolize potent and auspicious powers. They symbolically stand for power, wisdom, strength, and good luck. They have the power to bless and influence our lives. Chinese dragons are referred to as the divine creatures that bring with them abundance, prosperity, and are the ultimate symbol of good fortune. But we are never handed these gifts on a silver platter. Like the diligent dragon that never gives up, you must work hard to overcome the many obstacles standing before you in order to achieve the success you desire. This dragon offers you all the tools you need to make that happen. Trust in him, hold him close, and draw the luck and goodness out of him. So again, the incantation, meditation, mantra, whatever you feel comfortable calling it. And you are free to completely ignore these incantations or use them in your meditation, or to focus on when you need, write them down, and then go over them when you feel kind of compelled to. So the one for the Chinese dragon is jump the hurdles, rise above, give all the problems a mighty shove. I can do this. Yes, I can. Confidence is my master plan. So, a little bit of that self-confidence, a little bit of that, um, feeling like you need to take care of everything on your own because maybe other people will judge you um, if you ask for help from them. So then we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is again, our third 10 card in a row. So again, that sign that listening to your guide. So this is your lesson for this lifetime, and it's that self-confidence, and it's asking other people for help. And here, we also have this close family unit. They are financially abundant traditionally in these in this card. However, I feel the guides are providing it with the familiar and the Chinese dragon, which I want to keep leaving up. Actually, I feel like they provide this this energy combined together to show you that not all abundance comes financially. Not all your life isn't going to turn out identical to the life that you once planned, that you possibly envisioned for yourself as you were growing up. Find the magic in everything. Find the abundance in everything. There is, I feel like there are people around you that you haven't really, I want to say utilize, but that sounds cruel, and metallic. I don't know. They are there for you. They are offering, I feel like they're open to you coming to them for guidance and help, and for a shoulder essentially to cry on. And you haven't, while I feel like you're there for them maybe, and they honestly, truly, and with their whole heart are there for you, but you're afraid to kind of rely on them. And I feel like we're getting a lot of this message over and over again. I don't know if there's something that happened early in this lifetime or if it was a previous life, but there's something that happened that causes you to think this way, causes you to think that you must be solely responsible for yourself, that you can't rely on others. And I feel like this reading is very consistent from your guide. A lot of those feelings throughout about going, talking to other people, getting help with your loss. And I also feel like it's this lesson is very much reflecting what your guide has been trying to tell you throughout. So I feel like maybe this is a lesson you have not really put a lot of work into yet. You've been so busy serving others, being a good friend, having an open heart and a caring heart, that you have not allowed abundance to flow to you, allowed other people's love and help and support to come to you. And that's something that you need to, I feel you definitely need to work on this lifetime. So another goddess card here. So this is Nemetona, sacred space. I feel like that is something really important for you right now to do. Creating a sacred space. And even in here it says I'll read you the thing, but it says you can, if you're drawn to angels, Archangel Michael's good to work with at this time, but there's a spiritual change that's been happening in your life, a spiritual connection opening that you've felt kind of happening as we spoke of earlier in the reading. This is something that you've been intrigued in, something you're working on, something you were pulled to after something in your life changed. I know it's a whole lot of somethings, but you are so, I feel this, you're so like out there helping others, working for others, that you have, this whole creation of taking care of yourself, working for yourself. Hold on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, no, there's more than 10 candles. I was like, oh my god, there's 10 candles. No, there's not. Create an altar, visit a power place to connect with the divine. Your sacred space is within you now. By creating an altar or visiting a sacred site, you connect with the symbols and energy that have been infused with meaning and prayer over the centuries. Don't take these symbols lightly, for they are powerful indeed. When you connect with sacred symbols, you help your inner sanctity find a home in the outer world. You also tap into ancient wisdom and spiritual grace of the old ways. Explore spirituality through sacred symbols, sites, and allow your soul to joyfully meander among the various ways available to you to unite with the divine. It's not a matter of how you connect, but that you do so frequently. So maybe this is coming coming in relation to that journal, reviewing it frequently. But I also feel this is very important for you to create a sacred space and not to allow others to kind of crush it with their energy. If this is a spot you have in your yard that you can utilize, or even a corner in your room, a place by the fireplace, anywhere you can kind of create your own space that's just for you. No one else touches and fills with their energy. I feel like this is a really good way to get your self-confidence and also connect with the divine and your spiritual path that you're embarking on. But I feel mostly that self-confidence, like having something that is truly yours, your own, truly for no one else to take from or to move around things. It's going to create like this really big self-respect inside of yourself, knowing that you deserve this space. And then over time, I feel like that's going to be more of deserving other people's time and attention that they try to give to you, but you're afraid of accepting. So standing in the way of your lesson this lifetime is perfection. The Eight of Pentacles here, I'm feeling like that, all the ingredients, the collections, the things that you must be doing, you feel like if you rely on anyone else for anything, emotionally, spiritually, if you start admitting that there are things that you can't do on your own, then you're not able. You feel like you're not perfect, and you're letting people down. You're letting yourself down. I feel this whole, you think everyone's got a million things to do, and your million things to do are not as important as everyone else's, and therefore you can't rely on them or ask them to drop something to help you out, like you've dropped things to help them out. So I do feel like that connection to you must be perfect is something you have to work through and kind of drop. That's like, I'm feeling solar plexus chakra here. I'm not sure if that's traditionally correct, but that is what I'm feeling here is, so we felt like rooting, the root chakra, the solar plexus, heart, and third eye. So far, I felt drawn to you from your guide to work on. And I really feel like that's, I feel like that's a little bit of a repeat of a little bit of what we've been saying, but it's very kind of important from her, that you drop this idea that you have to be in control of everything. So this is your connection to this, to your spirit guide in the spirit realm. This is if you astrally project, if you are in your deepest dreams and you connect with her in the realm. And this is also the realms between lives. So I feel this very giving relationship. You guys have been on this long journey together, and you're slowly but surely kind of creating this strong spiritual path. I feel that high priestess energy within you, within her. There's gifts that she's giving you each lifetime to build upon. I feel like that confidence is kind of messed with some of your gifts during this lifetime, but that as you move on, move forward in your life, work on chakras, drop the idea of perfection, moving forward. Wow. Oh, never mind. I thought it was shining on something on this. It's the camera over here. Um, so dropping the idea of perfection, these are things that you need to do. So to really access these gifts. But I feel like when you guys are together in the spirit realm, it's very giving, planned out, guided relationship. She's teaching you every time you're together. I'm feeling it's like I'm picking up, I forget what it's called, is it clair sense? So I can't remember the word, but it's when you can smell things that aren't there. Like if somebody tells you pickles, you can smell pickles. You can think of soured grapes, and your like your mouth will like tingle and kind of tart up. Like, so I feel as though she's telling me that she gives you messages through scents sometimes, things that aren't there but that you can smell or taste. And this is one of the gifts that I feel like she has given you over time, or has helped you to unlock. Perhaps, like, I feel like in meditation, pay attention to smells. Pay attention to the smell of daisies or dandelions. See if you can smell them during meditation. Imagine a field of them and see the smell washes over you, along with the heat of the sun in the meditation. Even if you're inside, be able to feel the heat of the sun, the warmth, a gentle breeze, and hear like the grass rustling. Like, these I feel are gifts that she's kind of been giving you over the lifetime. But it's a really good connection together. I feel like you guys have been growing together. She's, of course, she's more advanced than you are because she is a spirit guide, but I do feel like she's been on this journey with you for a long time. So you guys have done a lot of growing. She's done a lot of growing as far as how to be a spirit guide, and you've done a lot of growing as far as, your soul's highest purpose. And that was the Knight of Pentacles. Anything you need to be aware of happening right now? So the Tower. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit of guidance on that here. So the Tower is not necessarily like a horrible thing, even though it can seem kind of, depending on the deck. I think the way the artist draws it as to how frightening it really seems. Here, I don't feel it's that bad. I feel, actually, her smile here reminds me of you. It reminds me of that Mona Lisa feeling. But here, we've got a tower. It's crumbled. Everything's kind of fallen apart. But she's got a smile. Like, she's like, I've got this, and I'm going to keep moving forward. So let's see. Something's changing. It might have been something that recently changed. Might be something that changes, today or tomorrow. A particular way of life, or a person that's no longer going to be serving you. And there's something or someone who you definitely thought would always be there, would always be part of your life. I have this thing where I shuffle the deck 7 times. So let's see. Okay, so this is good. The Stars card. This is awesome. So this is happening after the stuff. It's a great card. Yes, I just gave you a thumbs up. So we have the reversed Hanged Man and the reversed, well, he came up reversed, then I reversed him again. The reversed Knave of Chalices. So the Tower is something kind of falling apart, and it's something that has been really solid in your life that is going to kind of crumble. I feel like that parts of it can be rebuilt and parts cannot. And you know what? we say, the future's not set in stone. Knowing this, you can kind of get an intuition or vibe if it's something that you can change. And that may be a lot of the reason why your guide shows it to you, is because it's something you can change. But there is, this could be, it could be major. I mean, it could be like the loss of a job, but it could be like you break your favorite cup. I mean, these are just, it's just something that your guide says you need to be aware of. Now, because we've been dealing with self-confidence and getting help from others and kind of this loss or this issue that you went through, this is what I feel that this reading right here, this message is about. I do feel like you're going to start to open yourself, and you're going to try to talk to someone. And I feel that this person is going to really show you their true colors. Now, I'm seeing that because we have like the Knave of Chalices here reversed. It could be male or female. It's not really gender specific. Typically, this could be like a younger person, or younger than you anyways. It doesn't have to be. They could just be immature. So with this, what I'm getting is I'm going to kind of stop trying to explain things to keep everything mellow and just kind of give you what the guys are saying. So this is going to happen with the Hanged Man being reversed. It's going to happen pretty swiftly. This person, I feel it's probably like a newer connection in your life, a newer friendship or something, a newer acquaintance who you're going to kind of rely on for a few minutes. And this is someone that maybe you think they've gone through something similar to you, or there is a reason that really seems like they are the one to talk to about some kind of problem. But or this could even be someone you try to talk to about your spiritual path, which is also something I'm getting here. And they're going to be a naysayer, and you're not going to really realize that until all of a sudden they're naysaying, and then and you're going to feel really hurt. And that friendship, that connection is going to kind of sever. It's going to kind of change. It could be someone that you were getting closer to and you thought you might be a friend with, and this is going to happen, and you realize, you know what, maybe they're just better for a coworker, or they're the parent of a neighbor kid that's friends with your kid, or something random like that, So I feel like it's a person who's a newer connection in your life, and they're going to really kind of hurt your feelings, and you're going to realize you're going to feel sad about it. You're going to feel hurt. I feel like it's going to hit you a little bit in the feels, and that's why your guide is here. That's why she's been giving you so much guidance and so much about your self-confidence and moving forward and relying on people who can help you. The Stars card coming here, after this is said and done, your life's going to be so much better for it. So maybe this is someone who's been in your life. They're immature, because there's definitely an immaturity vibe there. I don't know if it's a new relationship or a immature friend, but once you cut them out of your life, or cut the way the friendship is growing, cut the way you interact together, once that changes, once it crumbles, I feel like this burst of energy and happiness from you. This card is like a big spiritual enlightenment card, exciting card. So I feel like that could definitely be energy of, once they're gone, that these they've been putting like such damper around you, putting such dim on your heart chakra, kind of messing with your mojo, that once they're gone, you're going to have an even bigger part in your spiritual awakening, your spiritual journey. You're really going to be able to feel the love. You're going to be able to feel your guides better. Everything's going to be a lot better. So this is a regretful but imminent change in your life. I'm glad to see the cards here. I don't feel like this is something earth-shattering, incredibly major, but I do feel it's going to kind of damage a little bit of the self-confidence that you're going to be working on, a little bit of the changes in your life. It's going to dim when this happens, it's kind of going to dim things, but then the stars are going to come out and everything's going to be beautiful and wonderful and 10 times better. So then the last card is any spiritual advice. And we have the Ace of Cups. Love runneth over. I think the verse goes, or cup floweth over. I do want to see a shadow here. So a shadow card here at the bottom, we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is kind of like the hidden energy right now. And that is just slow growth, slow good growth though, like taking time to really cultivate things. So the Ace of Cups here is there is just so much more to the spiritual world. There's so much more to people's love for you. There's so much more than you're aware of right now. I feel like there's so many good things out there for you right now that you couldn't, if you knew what they all were, you would feel like you couldn't possibly deserve all of them, but you do. I feel this this is definitely opening yourself to manifesting, to the law of attraction, to accepting that the gifts that you feel, the messages that you feel and you hear, they're not coincidence. The tens that we were seeing earlier, the colors, the name, you know, like these things, when you're hearing them and you're writing things down in your journal, there's going to be times where you're going to wonder whether this is coincidence or wonder whether it's worth listening to. And I feel like this is your guide saying it's all worth listening to. There are no coincidences. There's going to be a path unfolding in front of you, and it's going to unfold best when you start realizing just how much you're worth, and how much you deserve, and how much of your friends and family, how much of their love that they try to give you that you deserve. So I definitely feel, start relying more on the help of others. I'm going to go back into the very opening here again, Diana and the High Priestess. So I feel a lot of inward focus, a lot of acceptance here for yourself. This High Priestess is intuition, inner belief, and I feel everything has just been pointing so beautifully in one direction. This focus for you has been one direction, and that's accepting love and accepting help, accepting that you can take days where you don't do anything for anyone else, but only really, pamper and serve yourself and allow other people to help you. And I really feel like that's going to be opening your spiritual path more. It's going to be kind of working with your emotional side more, all your chakra stuff that was coming through, and that a little bit of that smile, that pretending like everything's okay, but hiding some things in the background that you feel like people will think you're not strong if you want to talk to them about it, if you want to get help from them about it. But yeah, I hope that resonated with you, and I hope you were able to find some guidance here through your spirit guide. I'm really excited to hear what you think, and I hope that especially what I was feeling about that journal and the number 10 and everything, I hope that really starts to help and come through for you soon. But have a really blessed day, and I hope your weekend is great. Okay, bye.